and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is part 4 of a free Whatnot course that I've designed on this channel to get you not only selling but making money successfully on the Whatnot app. In today's video, we're going to discuss how to schedule and set up your very first auction on Whatnot. Stay tuned to the very end because I'm going to be talking about my top tips to get high visibility on your auction so you are sure to get the bookmarks you need to make your auction a success. Congratulations, Whatnot has approved you. You have finished your onboarding. It is time to schedule your first auction. Number one tip would be to schedule that auction within the first week of your onboarding. I believe that is still the preference of Whatnot. They have chosen you to be on their seller team and they want you to schedule that auction right away. So within that first week after your onboarding, be sure that you get that auction scheduled. Your first auction needs to be in the category you applied to sell in on Whatnot. I'm going to start by showing you how to schedule an auction from your phone. I do have an Android phone, so things may look a little bit different if you have Apple, but primarily this is the same process regardless. Open up the Whatnot app and from the home page, click on profile in the bottom right corner. This is going to take you to your profile page. Now, if this is the very first time you've ever scheduled a show, you won't have anything in the My Shows area. Where I have the show set for this coming Friday, you won't actually have anything in that field. What you're going to do here is in the upper right corner, do you see that plus sign? Go ahead and click that. From here, we're going to click schedule a live show and this page pops up. You need to title your show. Let's just call my dummy show Kids Books. But come to think of it, that's not a very good title. Let's think of something a little bit more creative, like the best kids literature ever. Here you'll need to describe your show. You'll see that while the show title is a required field, this is an optional field, but I want to go ahead and ensure that my potential buyers know exactly what they're getting into. And we're gonna go ahead and call this 70s and 80s childhood, 70s and 80s kids hardback books. Again, I'm being very specific. I want potential buyers to know what to expect when they show up to my show. From here, you can add a moderator. It's not absolutely necessary. I'll tell you, I've been selling on Whatnot for a little over a year and I've never actually needed a moderator. I do have some words blocked out that you cannot say on my show. Another good way to vet trolls out of your stream is to require verified buyers only. From here, we can go ahead and schedule the show. We can select any upcoming date. Obviously, you can't accept anything in the past, but let's just say June 1st this year, we're going to schedule it for noon. So we're going to go ahead and noon PM. There we are. We're scheduled for noon on June 1st. Here you'll need to upload a thumbnail. If you don't upload a thumbnail, then your profile picture is going to become the default and that is going to be the image that represents the show. If you have a strong brand and people are most likely to buy from you because it's you, there may not be anything wrong with that, but this is your very first show. I feel like you really need to go ahead and click and upload a thumbnail. From here, you are given the option to use your camera or your gallery. Let's just use my camera here. From here, let's take a photo that accurately represents the show. Obviously, a pair of scissors does not represent kids' books, but for the sake of this tutorial, just take a picture of the books. Now we have this great screen that pops up and shows you exactly how your image will be cropped. We're used to taking photos in a 1:1, but Whatnot is still very much a portrait ratio when it comes to their photos. We'll click crop. Now we have a thumbnail for our auction. From here, we can upload a preview video. This is a good opportunity to either showcase the items that you're going to be selling or talk about them. Again, this is in portrait mode and we'll just go ahead and talk a lot about these books real quick. You guys do not want to miss this kids book sale. I promise you, it's the most epic books. The things you grew up with, they're all being sold tonight. So ooh, let's say I made a terrible mistake. Stop the video there and in the bottom left corner, click retry. Let's try that again. You guys do not want to miss this sale. I've got Big Bird, I've got Oscar the Grouch, I've got Babar. Every single book you grew up with as a kid is being auctioned off. Hit the bookmark, hit the follow. You don't want to miss this one. From here, you can play your video back or click OK. Sometimes it does take a little while for the video to actually load here. Scroll down and you're going to select your category. Click schedule. You can see the auction is all set up now. It's ready for me to start inputting data because as you can tell, my store is empty. My top tips for ensuring that your auction is visible is to fill out all the fields completely. First and foremost, be sure that you're in the right category because when users sign up to be buyers on Whatnot, they tell Whatnot what their preferences are, what categories they're interested in buying in. So that's how Whatnot's going to know first and foremost who to push your show out to. But then also people searching in those categories need to be able to find your auction. So ensure that you're set up in the right category. Definitely take advantage of the preview photo as well as the preview video. A lot of people want to know when is the best time to schedule a show, and I can tell you for me personally, later in the evening seems to work really well for me. Think prime time as far as TV is concerned. Prime time is set up to be available when people are off work and on their leisure hours. Whatnot, for me anyway, is much the same way, but that may be dependent on exactly what it is you're selling. One thing I think is a mistake I see a lot of new Whatnot sellers making is that they avoid those primetime hours because there are some really big players on Whatnot at that particular time. And here's the thing. If you sold sneakers and you thought your sneakers were the best sneakers ever and Nike was coming into town, let's just say, and they were going to set up a pop-up, set up a kiosk, and you had the opportunity to set up right next door to them, would you do it? A lot of people would say no because the competition is too great because everyone loves Nike. But I think you should because Nike has the notoriety and they already built the presence and the reputation. They are bringing sneaker buyers in. Why wouldn't you want to be set up right beside them to introduce your product? Let's say you sell Lego. Why would you avoid doing a Lego show when some of the biggest Lego sellers are on? That means that all of the biggest Lego buyers are also on. Schedule your show during that time. Just see what it does, but definitely 100% stop avoiding the peak time just because you're afraid someone else might be doing it better. Those buyers won't even get to see what you have to offer if you're hiding and waiting on your opportunity to be on the platform. It's honestly the equivalent of waiting for other sellers to stop using eBay before you list your item. It's kind of comical. The audience is there because there are great sellers on the platform. Take advantage of that, and if it works for your schedule, sell while they're selling. As a buyer on Whatnot, I can tell you if I get bored in a show or it's taking too long or someone is taking their entire 5 minutes for a giveaway, I'm clicking out of that show into another. People are constantly using those Whatnot auctions as revolving doors going out of one and into another. So again, if a major Lego buyer is on because a major Lego seller is on and they get bored in that show or they don't see something they want, they're already on the app, they're going to go look for your show. Do not avoid peak time. Now that you know how to set up your Whatnot auction, click here and find out how to add items into that auction.